Now, after we read the news of saying that NIO, XPeng, and the other companies have been added to the provisional list to those companies that are to be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange, which of course are Chinese companies, NIO came out and actually told us that they are aware of the situation, which is something that is amazing. Now, you remember that just day before yesterday, we received a news of saying that NIO, XPeng, and the other 88 companies have been added to the provisional list, which already had other companies. Now, you remember that we read that this list now currently has 105 Chinese companies which are listed in the New York Stock Exchange. And now 23 companies who are on the conclusive list of companies to be delisted. But of course, also with these 23 companies that are on this conclusive list, they have the SEC documentation for the 3 financial years, which will then get the suspension lifted off, which this is one of the things, and especially getting to see that though NIO is not yet on the conclusive list, but the provisional list, it is something that is bringing concern of people saying that of course it might end up being in the conclusive list, which again, that is not a problem at all. They can still make sure still on the conclusion list, make sure that they don't get delisted, which is why I'm here today telling you about the latest news or the statement that NIO announced yesterday after this delisting news we read 2 days ago. So as I've said, yesterday NIO came out and said that they are aware of this and they will do their utmost best to make sure that they comply with all the rules or regulation in the US and China, which is something that is truly amazing, because you remember that right now NIO, it is listed in the New York Stock Exchange and also in the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, which is something that to get to hear that NIO is coming to say that they will address this, or they will make sure that they comply on both stock exchange or securities exchange, is something that is truly amazing, and it has to be the one to probably motivate you to stay long onto this NIO stock. Now, before we go any further, you already know that this video is just an entertainment video, and you should not take it as a professional financial advice video. Now, I would really appreciate if you enjoy the content or the latest content that I'll be giving you about NIO and its delisting fears. Please do make sure that you hit that likes button, as it takes some time for me to compile a video like this and give it to you guys. So I'll really appreciate if you can just hit that likes button. So NIO came out yesterday, like I said, and said that they are aware that they are under the companies or Chinese companies to be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange, which they, like I said, made us to be aware that they will make sure that they comply with both the US regulating rules and also the Chinese regulating rules. So as like I said, you know that NIO is also listed or just recently started trading in Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Now, you will remember that all these companies that don't comply will be delisted beginning of 2024. That's something that you must know, of course, that to those companies that don't comply with the US regulations, they are definitely going to delist beginning of 2024, which getting to know that NIO is assuring investors that they will try to make sure that they comply with all the laws both in China and the US. Is something that, like I said, it is amazing, and it has to be the one to motivate you or keep you staying long onto this NIO stock, because this is a stock which is just set to do very well. This is a stock that its fundamentals and its future prospects are just out of this world. Now, NIO came out and said that they are aware that they did not use an auditor who is acknowledged or recognized by the PCAOB, and they will make sure that, of course, that they rectify that as soon as possible. And you know, or you already know that, of course, the PCAOB came out and said that these companies on the provisional list, they have to make sure that they quickly rectify this and make sure that, of course, the PCAOB auditor is able to check also and advise on their financial statements, which is something that I think it should not be that much difficult for a company like NIO to do that, which is why myself, I'm not panicking. And the fact that NIO already has got a motion of saying that they will make sure that they comply both on the US and China, it's one of the things that continues to make me to stay long or to remain bullish on this NIO stock. This low trading price on NIO, it is offering a good opportunity for you or for retail investors like you and me to probably consider loading the boat. And remember, with this delisting issues. You remember that China has always been telling us to say that they will make sure that they find a solid ground with the US. Even the vice president of regulators, they did mention that it is quite positive or confident that they will find a solution on these things. And China, one of the things that of course continue to encourage me is that they also again are continuing to encourage even more companies or more Chinese companies to go and list in the New York Stock Exchange, which is something that I think it should give you or shows you of how China is confident when it comes to the Chinese stocks remaining or continue listing in the New York Stock Exchange. This is one of the things that must show you some good confidence. And the fact that, of course, in one of my previous videos when I was talking about these delisting issues, I did indicate or show you that the Chinese regulators and the New York regulators are having a online meeting on a weekly basis, which is something that must just show you that there must be a progress, or there is progress around this thing. This just simply means that you should not take maybe this kind of news or the news that you might hear of saying that, of course, NEO, this is the end of NEO, this is the end of XPeng, this is the end of Leodo. These companies, I still believe that they are still going to remain listed in the New York Stock Exchange, which is why I, of course, think that you should remain very bullish onto this NEO stock. And of course, like I said, I always say I'm not a professional financial advisor, but from the facts, from the things, articles, so many articles have been written about this delisting fear issues, I can positively say that I believe that NEO will not get delisted in the New York Stock Exchange or from the New York Stock Exchange, which is something that must make you to remain bullish on NEO, which is something that must not make you to panic and sell your NEO stocks, because this is a company that, like I always say, it is just set to do very well. This is a company that its future prospects and its fundamentals, which I, by the way, have discussed with you so many times on this channel, giving you the latest developments, latest content on NEO. I believe that those developments that you know, those future prospects that you know about this NEO stock are to be the one to motivate you to stay long. Don't be distracted by these articles that we get now and again, repeating the same old stories of saying that NEO will be delisted, NEO will be delisted, whereas we are seeing progress from NEO and China communicating on a weekly basis, which is something that must just show you that it is not over until the fat lady sings. So it is not over until we hear a statement from both the US regulators and the Chinese regulators together, which is something that I believe that it's coming soon. And to those that are selling this stock or panic selling this stock right now are going to definitely regret a few years down the line when we are reaping the good returns, the good profits from this NEO stock. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I make tons and tons of stock market investing videos, and if you think that this video was amazing, please don't forget to hit that like button, comment and subscribe. That's if you have not subscribed to the channel already, so that at least you can get notification from YouTube every time we drop in your content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.